Tony,
Here.
Sarah,
Is there. Ron? It was there.
Shane, can you make that bigger? Thanks.
Walker.
Yep.
Wallace,
Here, oh.
present and Pedro.
I'm here.
And I'm here also.
Switch on presents.
Okay, can I have an introduction and a second to dispense with the reading of the minutes of March 13th, 21st, and 23rd, and place them on file. Artis,
I'll second.
Ryan, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Likewise, can I have an introduction to second to place committee reports on file?
I'll introduce.
Thank you, Arthur.
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have a list of communications. A reminder, once again, we're invited to Memorial Day observance. Then the 3 HPD reports. Can I have an introduction? Oh, sorry.
There was one other communication regarding the events which came day before yesterday to everybody on the council, I thought.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't include that in there.
And I'm pretty sure that it went to all council.
I just, right, and that's, it should have been included, this, it go to all council members. You're right.
It did go to everybody, yeah?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
So it should be included. It's from.
I think it came yesterday. That's from Sarah Gibbon.
From Sarah Gibbon. Yeah, I'll forward that to you.
I was included.
Oh, you want? Can I have an introduction and a second for this?
I'll introduce.
Thank you,
I'll second.
Ryan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Dan, can you put up the bills, please? For all those attending through Zoom, be aware that the connections here aren't the greatest, so sometimes we all lose the connection, might have to come back. But eventually, we'll get through it. So, any question on the bills?
What is the HCDPA bill?
That's for to pay through them, they pay the housing. The CDBG grant. Correct.
Okay, what is that?
Let's see, it's paying, one is for Michelle Tulo's salary.
I thought her salary was paid through the grant,
It is, it has to go through the city.
so this is a pass through.
Correct.
And so if there's somewhere where we see money coming back in if we're paying the bill out,
You'll see it in the overall budget.
I think Heather is on.
See, I don't know if you really know, Ryan would know better, since
Yes.
he's on HCDBA.
Yes, we get so it comes from, the grant gets paid out of the Housing Trust Fund. The money is written to the HCDPA from the trust fund, but it needs to clear through us. HCDPA being the subcommittee of the council, we have to then approve it. So if the
So the
vote on it,
grant
you want me to finish?
comes into us.
Can I finish?
Yes,
HTF approves it. We then approve from the HCDPA. Now, since the HCDPA is a sub of the council, we now approve it. So yes, it goes right through starting grant. We are passed through to approve something that has been decided on by the board itself.
okay, so some of these acronyms like HDF, whatever. If Heather is on, Heather, are you, I thought I saw her as a participant.
Yes, I'm here.
But can you explain this in terms of, is this money coming out of the city's budget? Can you explain to me where the money?
Yes. This is not specific to the Housing Justice Director's salary, although to answer that question, the way that works is that the city submits an invoice quarterly to HCDPA. who then pays that invoice, and that money is receipted into a revenue grant line in the budget, which offsets the expenditure line of the Housing Justice Director expense. So that's how the salary works that's being paid out of the grant. This is something different. This is related to the 500,000 low to moderate income CDBG grant that we received. And that is being managed by the Housing Justice Director. The grant is for $500,000. You, being the council, approved a loan from the general fund to a capital fund for that amount. So we had the cash in hand to pay any bills. The project is just starting out now. Flatley Reed is the organization that HCDPA and the council approved to basically be the project manager for those properties. Basically, people apply. If they get with a huge amount of qualifications they need to meet in order to qualify for a portion of this grant, Flatley Reed will organize between a few contractors to get the work done on the house. So the city will pay those costs initially the same way that we basically do with all of our other capital projects. And then we will submit for reimbursement. And then once the reimbursement is received from the $500,000 grant, we reimburse the loan to the general fund. So these are literally the first two expenses related to that housing grant.
So we should expect to see this occurring going forward. At what point will we get the 500,000 so that we
When
fronted
we
some?
spend that much, when they spend it, it's based on what they spend. As they spend, they get the reimbursement.
So it will always be fronted by us and then we get.
As
it.
all grants are, pretty much all grants, very few.
Okay.
I
So
can give it a check
Heather,
up front.
we're going to see this.
We don't have
going
to ask Heather. You can ask the council, that's how we
But
work.
she's the treasurer.
Yes, but-
And the explanation I got from Ryan was completely inaccurate, so I would prefer to hear from the treasurer. Thank you. So is that correct, Heather? We should expect to see this flowing through the budget lines as going forward.
Yes, not through the budget lines, but through the bills for the common council.
Clean bills. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on bills?
J.C. Rogerson.
That's our,
That's
the,
the flags.
the flags for Memorial Day. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Deskiluti. Aye. Frick.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Star.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Okay, we start with resolutions that we introduced last week. Shane, the first one is the Commissioner fees, which has been revised for some reason. What was that add? Okay, just one name add.
Yes.
A roll call. All right, I'll need a new introduction. Arthur.
What was that? Oh, yeah, aye.
Oh, and then we'll do the second. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Deskiluti. Aye. Frick.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Star.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution, you'll recall, designates the registered star as a city official paper. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Deskiluti. Aye. Frick. Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
And the person.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
Thank
You guys are
Star.
cutting in and out.
Dewan?
Aye.
Dewan,
Aye. It's cutting off.
Walker. Aye.
the next one authorizes the acceptance of $130 donation from Oakdale Funds organized by the Friends of Youth on behalf of the Fire Department Water Rescue and Dive Team.
if possible, it would be good for you and Mark to need our bandwidth. He just texted it. If you can log off the Zoom meeting on your computer, because it takes up the bandwidth in the room, and then that means that they can't get a signal.
Okay, it's gonna be a problem for me to see the screen one.
Mark can help you out. I don't have any solutions for you.
I can hear you guys now, kind of.
Yeah, I can hear you
What
now
was
too.
to you on the, okay, the donation? You get the resolution? It was accepting fire department donation. Can't hear me?
Can't see the screen.
Can you hear me, Ronnie?
Audio is pretty bad, but we can hear you somewhat.
How about now?
Recording in progress.
So is that?
You could probably go home, that's fine.
Yeah.
Ronnie,
Yes.
can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Can you use your computer? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna put you on speaker and I'm gonna call in Dewan too. Is that more efficient?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can you text me Dewan's number? Okay, yeah, however you wanna do it. Or it doesn't matter to me. Hello, what was that? Hey, Dewan. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys on. Dewan, Ronnie. Yeah, we have an echo.
Yeah, I think
What are we doing?
we're just gonna move the sitting forum. I mean, this is, if you're on, you're on. If you're not, we'll just skip you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at, Ronnie, if you can hear us, you vote no, or nothing.
Wallace.
Which resolution?
Yeah, number three.
I know.
President DiPietro.
We come to this one apparently, people want to discuss, and this is the event awards.
Yeah.
We ran out of here in a second. Before we vote, I believe, some of did they want to talk about it? No?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We're on the events budget.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay. Well, that's what I said. Did you want?
Yeah, well, one of the communications that we received that wasn't into the documents, and there are questions, I'd like to understand how the distribution is arrived at, particularly with regard to some of the newer events. Particularly from, from my perspective, Juneteenth is a very significant one. It's a very, the Dr. Sarah Gibbon, is one of our constituents in First Ward. Things.
So two things, I'm gonna start again. You have an opportunity to pull yourself out of your house and come to these meetings and be a part of the conversations when they happen. You armchair quarterback, we're gonna start there. I've actually invited here, two members from the Flag Day, the fact that that happens in Hudson. Beyond Winter Walk in terms of what it brings for the entirety of the county. So could I offer you the floor, Christine, by chance?
So not to interrupt, but didn't we go over this last week?
We did.
Well, I
extensively.
might have, maybe I forgot that for the day, well, but sorry.
No, that's okay.
Thank you for inviting me. This is important to me. I am currently the president of Hudson Flag Day Committee and Parade and Festival, have been for 7 years. I've been on the committee itself for approximately 15 years as a member. This was actually going to be abolished when I took it over, and I felt that the city needed to remain involved and have this parade and festival continue. So if I didn't pick it up 7 years ago, it would have been abolished. And that's why it's important to me to keep it going. We have a committee of actually about 12 members right now. Last year and the year before, we were at about 10. They are hardworking individuals. They all have full-time jobs. They are residents of Columbia County. And we work and raise money 10 months out of the year. The parade ends June 10th. We take July and August off. And we start fundraising in September. And we do barbecues and craft fairs and quarter socials. And we continue to come up with ideas to fundraise for this event. And as most of you know, expenses increase. We were hit with COVID. We came back strong. We took a year off because of COVID. It didn't deter us. We came back. We had a small parade in 2020 and 2021. We were at about 60 units, like 21 and 2021. And this year we're actually increasing it. We're getting back to where it was 10, 15 years ago, finally. My committee puts a lot of hours in, not just fundraising, but getting marching bands, researching, walking door to door, literally walking door to door, getting donations to get this parade. This is the oldest and longest living parade in the city of Hudson. And I feel that, with no disrespect to the other parades, every parade has a meaning to the city. But this is the most diverse parade in the city of Hudson. It is the longest. We are at year 28. And I feel that that $5,000 means a lot to our committee and our city. Our budget is $67,000. I spent many days putting in a proposal to you, and I don't know if you've read it or not read it. I would appreciate it if you read it, because you would understand what it details. The diversity that it brings to this city is remarkable. I'm sorry. And I think it means a lot to the city. We have the largest fireworks display in the city of Hudson for a reason. People start their summer based off of Hudson Flag Day Parade. We are consistent. We are the second weekend of June every year. And that will never change, hopefully, for many reasons. It's significant to us. And I stand here fighting for it, along with Holly, who has been a member also with me. And Vern, who is a very good friend and a supporter of Hudson Flag Day. He's also been on the committee a couple years. Along with the other 10 members that I have as a committee. We work hard for this, and I think we deserve what we get. You know, like I said, no disrespect to the other ones, but it's hard work, and I don't know what the time and effort that they have put in. They're new, and it takes time to get to where we are. I don't know what their budgets are, but I can tell you our budget is 67,000 this year to make it happen. So I would appreciate the council keeping it at the 5,000. It will be well used to make sure that the city of Hudson has a great parade. So.
Thank you.
Yes, so I remember distinctly in the beginning of last year, we had a conversation, Margaret, and you brought up what's the purpose of the tourism of these events. And you mentioned how much do they bring, and you were talking actually about Latinx and Juneteenth. And I said that volume really doesn't matter, but we need to respect certain, if their flag parade produces so much volume, we cannot, I mean, it's money to the city, and with that money, we help everybody. So we can't really disregard this. I also think it's bad management to go back and start taking money back from what we read, you know, with certain other organizations. So it can create resentments towards groups, and that is really poor management. And I'm not in favor of that. I do think the Black arts and arts in general should be restructured and will be giving, because since there is a big amount of Black population in this city, should be getting more money that they can manage of how to use it, instead of us coming and telling them this goes to South or this goes there. But that is something to be reviewed next year. I feel right now, either we can donate, if we feel that Juneteenth has not gotten enough, we can definitely donate. I would be very happy to do that. Or we can go back to and ask for an extra 1,000 from the general fund and go and supplement that. But right now, I really don't want to mess up with the other parades. It's not good business, you know.
And specifically with Juneteenth, didn't we adjust it? Didn't we put more into it?
We upped it from what it had initially had been, yeah.
Yeah, so
the reality is, and this is what we had said, if you had come to that meeting, Margaret, is that our total asks were $72,000 in total. This is not the tourism budget of 3 years ago, where there was more than $400,000 at our disposal. We were given $30,000 in total. Last year, we had an extra $20,000 that we were able to augment with, which is why we were able to do more for certain organizations. Everybody saw the communication that came in even from Hudson Hall, right? I mean, Hudson Hall was going to be 27, so a year prior from them. We were able to give what we could this year, and they weren't happy with it either, you know? So I think, again, Vicky, you know, you framed it very well. It's twofold for me. The first is, what is the spend that is going to bring the volume back for the most diverse groups that are here? And second to that is, this is the longest standing piece of Hudson history in terms of the events go. This is something that I think collectively, I mean, those of us that are from here, right, originally would want to
If
hold
you
on
could
to.
stop the editorializing, okay, I just appreciate that. First of all, I love Flag Day. I always go through it. I think it's a fantastic parade. That's not the question. That's not the question I was raising. So if you just stick to your points as opposed to personal attacks on whether.
Oh, Margaret, there's no personal attacks. Your nasty attitude is going to be put into check tonight. So what's
Okay,
happening?
let's stop this. Let's have a roll call vote.
Thank you.
Councilmember Desilluti. Aye. Frick,
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Ferranti.
Well, let me just editorialize a bit more. I have no hesitation on staying this money, just because if you remember, the first event got us out of COVID was Flag Day. And that meant a lot for a lot of people, not only that, the longstandingness of it. But it got, and I think every year Flag Day is the first thing we do every year in the city. And I think that, like Ronnie said, we have to stay with what's still there. We lose so much in the city, a lot of different things. And I think Flag Day is something with the volunteers that do so much. We need to reward that, reward our city and continue on the same path. And I say yes.
I want to thank you for bringing that up, bringing me back down memory lane with Flag Day too. My uncle, Leroy, you know. That was.
Okay, we're voting in order.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just, she brought me down memory
I
lane.
got it, I
My
got it.
uncle marched, you know, with the fire department and the Flag Days. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Morris? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Thank you. Ronnie?
I'm gonna miss it.
Can you hear us, guys? Let's see.
Star?
Aye.
Mr. President?
I can hear nothing.
Go up to the meeting.
Well, Margaret, thank you for your questions and the committee would be happy to address you and
Great.
help you, yeah, help you understand.
You have everything with money, I just would like
That's
to
true.
be
Well,
able
we
to.
appreciate the generosity of the
Yeah.
committee and it's gonna be a great parade, so we'll see you there. Thank you.
I just want to say, I don't understand why I'm here. And I say that to you, Margaret, and I don't want to make a personal
You need
attack.
to say it louder, because I forgot my hearing aids.
I don't understand why I'm here. And I say it to you. This should not be a discussion. If you are from Hudson and you understand what Hudson is about, you understand what Flag Day means to the diversity of our city.
Okay.
You can mention Juneteenth, and I'm a supporter of it, obviously. But Juneteenth and their committee will learn from Flag Day how to build and to become that. This is something that we have done for 28 years. This should not be a discussion. And actually, as a voter, I'm a little upset of what I'm seeing here. I am. I'm not happy.
Okay.
And I know election time, I'm sorry, Tom.
Sorry.
In all respect, I called it, Tom, you know if I show up, there's a reason. I know when you guys saw me coming here, like, oh, what's going on? I don't like.
I don't know what I did.
Nothing, man, nothing. All I'm saying is like, there's some things that, you know, we can have discussions about. This is not one of them, Margaret. Come on, first ward,
Well.
it's not. Can you hear me?
I moved here from Texas.
I know, so what the first thing that I would ask you to do, and Texas is nice, but the first thing I would ask you to do is talk to the locals, please.
I voted in favor, but I have nothing else to say.
I respect that. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Brian.
Thank you, guys.
You want anything? Excitement should be done.
Now.
Thank you. Text me that, okay?
Yeah.
Yep, I'll take care of it.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you,
Guys.
Moving right along. The new, resolution, Shane, the. Members, oh, no, I'm sorry, right, thank you, Amber. Going off track there, authorizing the transfer funds to the retirement expenses, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Gaspaluti. Craig?
Aye.
Harris?
Aye.
Moranti?
Aye.
Morris? Ronnie? Star?
Aye.
Walker?
Aye.
Wallace?
Aye.
President Pietro?
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, now we're using, they're going to the new ones. Number 6, the authorizing a contract extension. For our grant writing services with LaBerge. And a related budget transfer. Where are we here? Oh, It's up there, but it's not,
You might have frozen.
I guess I'm froze.
The intro.
Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so,
So this is, sorry,
We have to introduce it first.
yeah,
So I'll introduce.
all second.
there you go. You got that? You didn't even have to ask. Now you may discuss it.
Does this go toward what Michael mentioned at the last meeting about extending the services in general for more of the grant writing that we get?
Yes.
Imagine, okay.
Yes.
It's the same group as last year.
Yes.
They're good.
Okay,
Very good.
but what this is doing is, this is saying that we approved in the budget process for 40, this is just 8 on top of it.
Correct.
No further discussion.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Desaludi.
Aye.
Brick.
Aye.
Harris.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roney. Sar.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wallace.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution designates May 5th as National Day of Awareness for Missing or Murdered Indigenous Persons in the city. We had this last year, so I'm going to repeat. Can I have an introduction, please?
I'll introduce.
Second?
Amber.
Amber.
Can you ask why we keep doing it every year? I mean,
Because it's an annual thing.
we cannot just do it forever.
No, we have to think. No, I think we have to have
Every
the
year.
acknowledgement, yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Desaludi.
Aye.
Brick.
Aye.
Harris.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roney. Sar.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wallace.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Now, this one you heard about last week from Michael. This is accepting a proposal for cybersecurity insurance coverage and a related budget amendment. Can I have an introduction?
Right.
Second, Arthur, any questions?
Man, I wish we had this at the end of last year.
Oh, when
Yeah.
everything went terrible.
It would have covered all the extra costs, but hey, we've got it now at least.
So,
As you can see, it's been spread across both fund balance as well as
Yeah.
certain unused insurance.
so I have 2 questions.
Okay,
One, are we confident that 1 million is enough?
We can always increase, I mean, my thought on that was like, I don't know, but we could always increase the policy and the premium if it came to it.
So that was, well, yeah, but they're not gonna be like, oh, yeah, no, okay, cool, yeah, we'll bump your coverage.
I know.
But
It's in the event, right, yeah.
Right, so that was my first question, which I don't have an answer to, other than in the world of damage and cyber, $1 million is kind of chump change. The other question that I had was, and maybe this is a crystal, was that if we look at the actual documents from the CRC group, Lloyd's of London is a non-admitted carrier in the state of New York. So I was wondering if that would somehow decrease the value of having this particular policy.
I do not know the answer to that question without looking a little bit further into it. So I wouldn't be able to answer that today. I can look into it and give you information for the next meeting, but I can't provide anything for you to that today.
Yeah, I suspected that would be the case, Crystal. But I don't know. There's a reason that non-admitted is bolded in this contract. And I don't know what that answer is.
yeah,
This might not be the answer, but a lot of like insurance companies don't like doing business in New York. It's why I usually see 49 states. It's usually New York that's excluded because we're pro-consumer.
Well, and
That might not be the answer, but
well, and I'm also, I also know that I believe getting cybersecurity insurance is kind of a pain if you don't already have it. So what I suspect is that this might be the only option.
Or gateway.
a gateway insurance policy?
I mean, I'm of the mind of approve now and amend as we go because we don't have anything. I would rather a safety net of some sort than a net at all.
Fair.
I would concur.
Thank you.
I'm just positing questions.
Okay, well, we'll look at it further, but yeah, let's vote on it now.
Could we get answers to some of these questions?
Not for tonight.
No, we
We
can,
can, we can.
Could we wait to vote on it till next
No,
month?
till next week,
Next month?
we could, but that leaves us naked for a month.
I mean, I think that regardless, this would still be better than nothing.
yes,
And if we wish to up the policy amounts,
we
then
do
we
so.
can.
Yeah.
And if we wish to switch carriers to an admitted in the state of New York policy, once we're eligible, I just would like to know if there is a admitted in the state of New York option, what the cost of that would be, and what, if any, risks we would have for having it not be a non-admitted carrier.
Right.
So if we sign up for this, do we have the option to cancel it and go?
Yes.
with
Yeah,
the
of course,
carrier?
definitely,
So that will cover your issue, right?
Yes, yeah.
yes,
I just wanna make sure that we're continuing to have the
Yeah.
discussion relevant to this.
right, no, I'll definitely make a note of it. Michael might have some of the answers.
I suspect he might. I believe it was that Lloyd's was the only
Right,
option right now.
Correct.
right, and
There was two other things just I want to add in the documentation that Michael shared. What's interesting is that, you know, how we talk about digitizing some of the records the HCDPA has, there is a provision that we could turn on. We don't have the price on that, though, but that's the type of thing where it would help to protect the digitization of the records too. If they ever got ransomed or whatnot, we could actually use the computers.
we're definitely going for grants for it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where it's like, there's intersecting avenues here, but it's all about that.
Okay, roll call, vote, please.
Councilmember Deschaludi. Aye. Frick.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roney.
Aye.
No,
Sar.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
aye.
Carrie.
The next resolution is a renewal of a lease with Hudson Valley to run their business down by the waterfront over the summer. I have an introduction.
I'll introduce.
Oh, there you go. I'll second.
Everyone in a second. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Deschaludi. Aye. Frick.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carrie.
The next authorizes the campaign agreement with Canvas for the improvement of Charles William Park. And introduction, please. Second? Or no? Questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Who do I ask? Who, Michael?
Oh, we can actually, you know.
Yeah, so in December, we had a resolution for an award of 40,000 from the National Fitness Campaign. And there were some deadlines, which I don't know if they were met or not, so were we able to meet them or we lost that? That's my first question.
Did they get it extended?
Yeah, I think we got an extension.
We got access. Okay, so with this, I'm a little bit confused with this resolution because under the terms, the second one, it says the recipient organization must agree to purchase certain collection of Congress products listed here, which I couldn't find them. And then it says if the campaign is unsuccessful, it says you will have the option of making up any shortfall, extend the campaign, or purchasing a portion of the collection. So is the cities paying for this, or is it the grant that Utopia or we?
Nobody's paying for it. There's no payment involved.
There's no payment.
Correct. What it said is if they don't succeed and they've raised some of it, we have an option to buy some of the equipment from them.
Okay.
But it's allowing them to fundraise on our behalf for this recycled equipment. Yeah,
This equipment, if we're, is it ADA compliant, it's gonna go in the parks?
I'm sure it must be. I mean, I think guaranteed, but I'm pretty sure.
So this is my fault, because I have a lot of questions about this, in terms of, we're asking, a company we don't know too much about to represent us. And I would like to know a little bit more about the company, history, some references, they're gonna throw our name out. To basically do a fundraiser. I would like to table this for more information. Since there's not a pressing timeline, because there's a lot of gaps in here that I just don't understand in this. And what our role is and how this works. Like I said, we have an option to buy equipment. That then says we are gonna be using taxpayer money now to buy this equipment if we choose. So it sounds like they're protecting a lot of their ends, but I don't see how, we're being protected or how this benefits
Well,
us.
no, I understand. We don't need protection because we're not putting out anything or guaranteeing anything. However, I agree with you. The supplementary document didn't satisfy your questions.
Can we
Okay,
come present?
so, yeah, let's table this, unless somebody were not to.
Do we need to?
No, we could. So can I have, motion, Dominic made a motion,
All
table,
favor.
Brian second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. And nobody objects, I guess. So we'll put that on. And I'll get more information. I know there is information, but I don't have it handy. Okay, the next, resolution is again a renewal of a sub-license agreement between Hudson Sloop Club. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a renewal, this is a sublease between Hudson Ferry Company and Hudson Sloop Club.
Yeah.
Hudson Ferry Company is a new company that will be providing ferry service. Under Ryan, second? I mean, yeah. Person? Questions?
Malachi.
Oh, Malachi?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, unless there's questions, roll call vote.
Councilmember Delarose. Aye. Craig.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roni.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
And our last resolution is a budget amendment to add the Charles Williams Park project grant. Can you post that? I can't. No. I can't, I'm not coming in. Does anybody have it? Okay. Oh, okay, just accept the money. Introduction, please. Okay, second. Arthur, questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Delarose. Aye. Craig.
Aye.
Harris. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Morris. Roni.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Walker. Wallace. Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, any new business from council members?
I have something.
Okay,
All right, so, Heather, I hope this doesn't take you by surprise, but I know that we gently talked about this. So I went to the treasurer's office and I started looking at a list of properties that are behind on taxes in general. And I've identified there are 11 properties that are over $50,000, one of which happens to be the Paddock Place one, and we can't, I know, pursue things differently. The remaining 10 come in and they're over 2 years delinquent, come in at a total of $850,000. 10 properties, all right, and this is out of an outstanding like 3.4 million of back taxes. Where and how and who would we work with in terms of, I don't think foreclosure processes or at least getting people to start paying up has started up again since COVID. So as we sit here and bicker that we don't have money to fund events and things within the city, what we do have is 10 homes that are nearly at the tune of $1 million owed in taxes. You know, I know it's not everybody's favorite
well,
topic.
Heather's not here right now, so the process, there is a process for this, and I know we work to make it easier for people to meet their taxes.
Yep.
No one favors
I'm not saying anything about like vindictive approach here, but just,
No,
this is a
I
lot of
would,
money.
yeah, I would look to it for funding anything. I mean, that's not really. First of all, as you heard last week, we had a $500,000 budget surplus from last year. And as you know, two buildings are being sold next week, so it's
Well-
fingers crossed about that too. No, I understand your concern, for real,
But
again,
Tom, with those 10 houses, maybe a couple of them are people that don't live in Hudson, they're not being, they're not lived
They can
in.
be wealthy people.
They're-
right?
Yeah, I mean, one of these homes, it's over $200,000.
There are
that
penalties.
they owe,
there are.
Right, so,
penalties to it.
I mean,
It's just a question what
they're
they're.
probably paying if you want to look, yeah, I mean, it's just something I want us to consider.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Okay.
it is more revenue streams to do more things for the city.
Okay, anybody else?
I got something real quick.
Okay,
If you guys haven't checked the website, there's citizen preparedness here at the end of the month, next Friday, the 28th. There's limited seats if you guys want to join up or have some constituents that are interested in the free workshop. That's going to be here in the firehouse.
and what is that about exactly?
It gives it's a workshop from the National Guard and emergency management. They give, it's a workshop on citizen preparedness through storms, power outages, all tips and everything, and they even hand out.
Does it cover the apocalypse?
Absolutely. That's the first thing they cover. I know, and it's like the, give a book bag, I think a book bag of supplies to the attendees, so.
Great.
But it's a great little program. It's the first time it's been offered here in the county.
Did you give the dates again? Date again?
It's the 28th. I think it's next Friday, 28th.
Here,
Yeah.
at what time?
I believe it's 5 days. Yeah, it's on the website, and then the link is on the website, our city website to join.
And
Register.
anybody else on the council, anything over there? With any citizens, I was gonna say this earlier, but there are 4 unidentified people on the Zoom, and because we're having problems in the future, I'm gonna have to ask you to identify yourself when you get on the Zoom, or you're gonna be thrown off. There's no obligation to keep you on there, because this is a hybrid meeting, you can always come in person. But given our limited bandwidth, I really am gonna remove you in the future. So it's just a warning to 518-567-9901 and 646-221-3734 and TT and Eli. So in the future, please identify yourself so we know, you're a legitimate viewer. Ronnie's raising his hand, but I'm not sure. Is he muted? Yeah, you're muted, Ronnie.
I think one of them said.
Oh, one of them is you?
There's a lot.
Okay, well, that explains that. Okay.
Everybody get off.
I know, right?
Motion to close.
There you go. Second?
Second.
Was there anybody in the public who want to say something? I thought I asked.
A second.
Okay, well, that's a second.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. All those in favor,
Aye.
say aye. Anybody?
Was it one year or just?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone.